Hello fellow traders, this is Paul Lummel. Got another stock here. I've been watching this for several months, watching the cycles unfold on the pullback from this TY-2 cycle. We don't have an actual price squeeze yet, but it was a falling wedge pattern, and just like we had over here, we had a breakout, and the price squeeze happened probably within the next 1 to 2 months on that. Could very well be the same kind of pattern here. I'll break down the cycles here in a second. But first, before we dive in, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. It really helps us reach more traders like you and keeps you updated on our latest trading tips. Also, we're looking for talent, maybe someone who's not locked into their own way of trading and is open to exploring a new outside-the-box form of cycle-based trading, which we use to swing trade equities and day trade indexes, SPY, QQQ, and futures. If you have any interest in that, DM me through our social media or email me at paul@bitcoinertradingclub.com and I'll give you more information. Okay, and also just keep in mind, again, the market rating is still E+. We're still not out of the woods yet. We got some cycle action in the base we need to work through, but it is improving. And if you want to know more about how we get to that market rating, go to bitcoinertradingclub.club/market-rating. Okay, breaking down the cycles on this stock. This had a big downtrend off of the IPO. And you can see right here, Cat 1 was a TM3 cycle, Cat 2 was a TM7 cycle. That's a primary IPO cycle. You can see right there that that bottomed it out, and you never pulled back below the TM7 cycle. So you have a cycle squeeze. It's about 1.5 years on that. Let me see. How many months is that? That is a 1.5 year price squeeze on that. Got the TY-2 set up here. And a pullback from that, again, held above the TM7 cycle. So you have a cycle-based price squeeze right there, right at that $10 psychological price point. Next up, we have the $20 PPP, and then push through that to the $25, where it already kind of met resistance and pulled back on that. So this is a pretty powerful, right above that $10 psychological price point is the $12.50. And really didn't get much below that either. So you had a price squeeze, not technically a price squeeze per se, because it didn't have a higher low in that cycle, but you're going to have it over here more than likely. High probability you can get the price squeeze over here. But anytime you see this action coming off a major cycle like a TY-2, a 3.5 year cycle, when you get the wave action where basically each lower wave is really not much juice left in a down, so you got a little bit below here, get over here, this wave can't really get much below there, and these minor waves, 1295 down to 1194, really not much juice left in the downside action. So high probability, again, once we get outside of this, we're already outside of it, once we establish some basing over here, more than likely we'll get higher lows, price squeeze, and then start squeezing on that TY2. This being a long-term cycle-based cup and handle, this could really fly outside of this TY2 cycle, especially when you get above the blue sky up there. Base BMI, and this is just crazy. It's like 1,600%. So will it repeat out of that? Probably not. You know, it's not impossible, but 1,600% would take it to probably close to $700, $600 or $700. Not impossible, but that would be huge basement supply all the way through this price advance. But I could easily see a 200% gain out of the U pivot over here, around 37, 38 bucks. Taking that 200% would be, let's just say 80 bucks on that, plus 40. So 110, 120, somewhere in there, quite possible. Once we get a breakout of the original IPO high, some solid basing in the PBC zone. So this is definitely one I would keep an eye on. You might have, again, probably a good 1 to 2 months of sideways chop right here, just like you had over here. So just be aware of that. Pull back to the 35 MA worked good over here on a daily, so might be a good place to build a position on. If you're interested in our trading style and want to join the club or get one-on-one coaching, head over to cycletradingtraining.com. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.